Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's popularity stunt in the US is like an episode of The Crown, and I'm talking full of twists, turns, and the occasional family feud.
Hey, it's me. I'm just excited to be myself and talk and be unfiltered.
And since their move across the pond, it's been a roller coaster ride of attention. First, they wanted to start a podcast. What about a Netflix special? Then they wanted to move back to Hollywood so Meghan can act again. And then they were broke. And then they hated the Queen. And then all of this stuff seems to have actually had a positive effect on their popularity in North America. See, after Harry and Meghan's Netflix special aired in 2022, everyone was all of a sudden on board the Harry and Meghan train, choo-choo, but then it hit a speed bump because in 2023, Harry's popularity was playing a bit of a limbo game. And early on in January, it started at a -7 in a poll where Meghan's wasn't doing much better at a -13. Yes, and in their failed quest for their podcast glory, Harry and Meghan didn't quite top the charts. In fact, their lack of success was kind of a double whammy because they had a tough time getting any exciting guests to join them on the podcast, and they apparently just had a terrible work ethic. And you mix both of those things together, it results in Spotify dropping your podcast quicker than I can say podcast. And after Spotify called Harry and Meghan a bunch of grifters, their public image got another ding. And if that wasn't enough drama, whispers started to circulate that during the Queen's health worries and her eventual death, Harry supposedly had the audacity to call up President Biden and ask for a VIP ride on Air Force One so he could zip over to the UK. For which Americans didn't take that request too well. And they actually saw this as a sign of Harry's supposed feelings of too much entitlement. Yeah. But lo and behold, the pair actually made some strides in a positive direction. Because despite this royal roller coaster of negative attention, Harry and Meghan found a silver lining through their charity work and their advocacy. They played the do-good card by sponsoring and diving into the World Mental Health Day Festival back in New York City, where the duo even graced a special panel where they sat down and opened up about their own mental health journeys. On top of that, Harry's memoir Spare was released, and it added some extra glamour to their public image. It peeled back the curtain on the royal family's off-screen life, and it let people see that despite everything in the media and all the this and all the that, Harry is actually a real person. I swear, he's a real boy. He might be Pinocchio, but he's a real boy. And as the year wrapped up, whispers began about Meghan's Hollywood comeback or a revival of her blog. And you know, surprisingly, among all this circulation, polls started to swing in the opposite direction, and Harry and Meghan's popularity was once again on the rise overseas. And it looks like the Harry and Meghan show did have a plot twist overall, because according to a poll by Redfield and Wilton, Harry scored a +29 and Meghan a +15 over 2023 in the same poll where they trashed it earlier on in the year. It also revealed that millennials were the generation who most favored the couple.
Meghan Markle has signed a new podcast deal with Lemonada Media.
Meghan Markle has announced a new podcast deal and plans to host a dynamic new show after cutting ties with Spotify.
Harry and Meghan's estimated $25 million podcast deal canceled after less than a year.
My wife and I were moving on.
Months after Meghan Markle and Prince Harry parted ways with Spotify, their next move in the podcasting world was revealed. The Duchess of Sussex signed a new podcast deal with Lemonada Media. An announcement went up on the couple's website.
Meghan Markle has announced she'll be launching a new podcast with a company called Lemonada Media.
And in my opinion, this could be a great thing, a fresh start. One thing about Meghan is, regardless of the hate she faces, she doesn't stop creating. Whether you like her or not, you have to admit she's faced an obscene amount of hate in regards to her parenting, her looks, her actions, and we all have to remember that people aren't perfect.
I think it's really important for people to understand the truth.
If you haven't, maybe check out some of the cool things she has done. She rescues dogs, she cooks for her family every night. She also created a cookbook to help victims of the Grenfell fire. Royal expert and insider Pepe Weintraub weighed in on this. What he said was, "It's a great move for Meghan's career. She's been able to face all the adversity thrown her way. She's a really good Canadian girl who made a name for herself in the entertainment industry and deserves the right to continue following her dreams."
Wow, you're pretty.
Good. You've hit on me. We can get it out of the way that I am not interested.
No, I'm sorry, I wasn't hitting on you.
Trust me.
And this podcast gives her the chance to do so, especially since her last podcast didn't succeed due to forces out of her control. In addition to the one season of her Spotify series Archetypes now being distributed to all podcast platforms, Meghan is also set to launch a new show that she will host, although we haven't heard any further details on this yet.
Okay, welcome to Archetypes. Let's do this. You ready?
I'm proud to now be able to share that I am joining the brilliant team at Lemonada to continue my love of podcasting, Meghan said in a statement. Being able to support a female-founded company with a roster of thought-provoking and highly entertaining podcasts is a fantastic way to kick off 2024. Our plan to re-release Archetypes so that more people can now have access to it, as well as launching a dynamic new podcast, are well in the works.
Hello. I got a big thumbs up. I appreciate that.
I'm so eager to be able to share it soon, and I'm overjoyed to be joining the Lemonada family. Lemonada's CEO and co-founder Jessica Cordova Kramer said, "We are beyond honored that Meghan has trusted us to help democratize access to Archetypes, and that so many more people around the world will have access to the series soon. Meghan's talent as host, creator, and conversationalist is unparalleled, and we are thrilled to co-create a new series with her that fosters her approach to creating art that matters." In June 2023, Meghan and Harry announced their deal with Spotify was over. A joint statement said, "Spotify and Archwell Audio have mutually agreed to part ways and are proud of the series we made together." Archetypes aired 12 episodes. Each episode of the podcast featured different guests, including Serena Williams, Mariah Carey, and Paris Hilton, who all explored the stereotypes that hold women back. The show even won a People's Choice Award for Pop Podcast.
And that was a very clear and real and frightening constant thought.
Meghan and Harry realized that they need that royal title back, and they need it now. So they tried something new that has to work. It's their last attempt at getting their ratings back, and we have some crazy inside sources breaking the news for you.
Now, Harry and Meghan have reportedly hit back at criticism of their new website, which uses their Sussex title.
This new website, Sussex.com. This website is being used as a way to rebrand Harry and Meghan, perhaps to regain some popularity from the people and to show Harry's family that amid the news of his poor sick father's cancer diagnosis,
Buckingham Palace has announced King Charles has been diagnosed with a form of cancer.
that his family is still dedicated to being royal and keeping those special ties with the royal family. Listen, I went onto this website so you don't have to. On this website you can find very professionally written biographies on both Harry and Meghan. So much so that it makes you wonder what's actually true about these two. The first two lines in Meghan's biography are as follows. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is a feminist and champion of human rights and gender equity. Her lifelong advocacy for women and girls remains a constant thread in her humanitarian and business ventures.
For me, it's very important to meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly.
Those are some strong words indeed, but a little hard to understand. Harry's biography starts off as follows. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, is a humanitarian, military veteran, mental health advocate, and environmental campaigner. He has dedicated his adult life to advancing causes that he is passionate about and that advance permanent change for people and places.
I just refused to accept that she was gone. Part of, she would never do this to us, but also part of, maybe this is all part of a plan.
Now, hold on. That's it. That's the entire website. And it goes on for a little bit more and more and more, and it's less comprehensible the more that you read it. But it's basically just paragraphs raving about what the two of them have done. And it's a homepage of Meghan smiling with her teeth out in full force. People are mad and confused, and let me tell you why. Royal commentator Camilla Tominey claimed that the couple's decision to go back to their titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex is a sign that Meghan just can't let go of the royal family. Camilla claimed there's absolutely no reason for these non-working royals to carry on using their titles, not at least with an entire website dedicated to telling the world that they are much, much more than mere royalty. She claimed that the couple's popularity is so low in the UK and the US that a rebrand wouldn't even be enough to save their image, saying it's a shame because these two actually do have the power to make a difference if only they could get over themselves. According to Royal Insider, writer and critically acclaimed actress Jessica Chin King. She says,
I don't really feel like Meghan has to use the royal name. I know it might look like she's trying to ride coattails right now.
We're being real, she was a part of the royal family.
And she does have a lot of other successes that she can use.
Even though she may be unlikable at times, she does have a lot of talent. While I agree with Jess, it feels like we're watching some sort of weird iteration of like a puppet show or something. Like, what exactly is going on with these two? One day they're out of the royal family for good, and the next day they can't deal with the thought of not being involved with the royal family. It seems like they really just need to make up their mind!
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are proving that there's really nothing they can't do as they prepare to embark on a new path as movie producers.
It's official, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are working on another movie. And don't worry, it's not another documentary, although the movie does share some striking similarities to their actual real lives. It's pretty interesting. Either way, I'll get into that. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are planning to make a significant change to the movie that they're working on, and this could be seen as a way of expressing their disagreement with Prince William, and they're actually getting ready to create a film based on a popular book called Meet Me at the Lake.
Yes, Canadian author Carly Fortune has confirmed she's teaming up with the Sussexes.
Now, Netflix bought the rights to this romantic book written by Carly Fortune, and Meghan and Harry get to make the film as part of their deal with Netflix. Now, when it comes to the book tells the story of a couple who met in their 30s and deals with tough topics, like one character losing a parent in a car accident during childhood. Kinda sounds like Prince Harry's story, right?
Yeah, the book is about a couple who meet in their 30s, similar to the Duke and Duchess's real-life relationship. The news comes amid reports their star is waning in the US.
As well as it deals with topics like postpartum depression, as well as mental health issues. But it's expected that Prince Harry and Meghan will make a big change when they turn this book into the movie, as mentioned by a royal expert. The Mail on Sunday's assistant editor Kate Manzi described the movie on Palace Confidential, saying this: "It's a romantic story about characters called Will and Fern who meet at the lake, surprisingly enough." Now, the host, Joe Elvin, joked about this, saying, "Surely that Will name will be changing." And Kate Manzi responded with this: "I was thinking that because Will is the kind of very hot love interest in the novel, so there's no way they're going to allow those names. You can't leave it as Will, so he will definitely have his name changed, I'm sure." Speaking of Will though, Prince Harry and his brother Prince William have a strained relationship because of the projects that Harry and Meghan have released previously. One of the most notable projects is Harry's revealing memoir called Spare, where he made a whole lot of accusations about his father, King Charles, who was then Prince Charles, and his brother, Prince William. It's not known though yet if Meghan Markle, who used to be an actress, will have an acting role in the movie that they're making. At first, there were reports saying that Harry and Meghan were the ones who bought the rights to the book for $3.8 million.
Now, it was reported over the weekend that Harry and Meghan had purchased the film rights to the book, which debuted at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list.
But later, conflicting reports said that Netflix actually bought the rights to the book. Regardless, the plan is for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, to make the movie through their company Archwell Productions. Back in 2020, the couple made a deal with Netflix for 5 years, said to be worth $100 million. And they already released a series with 6 parts, which talked about their relationship, their marriage, and how they separated from the royal family. Now, this one working on a fiction drama, again with some surprising similarities to their actual real lives. Losing a mom during childhood, a character named Will. Like, what? Is this a coincidence here, or did they actively say, okay, no, we want to work on this one because there's just so much similarities to our lives. Maybe it's a sign, maybe we're meant to do this. I don't know, I really don't know, but I find that very, very fascinating. Maybe it is all just a coincidence.